Oh, damn. It's not so far so good.
G'day camper. I tell you, this is the first piece of King's gear I've owned, and I really, honestly, really wanted to like it. But there's a lot to unpack here. Today we're talking about the Adventure King's Deluxe Single Swag. So who is this swag for? In my opinion, this swag very specifically is for people new to camping. Maybe you've never been camping before, you've been invited with a group of friends that does camp, so you don't want to spend a lot of money on flash gear if it's something you might not enjoy. If you already have a swag and you're looking to upgrade, I don't care how basic your swag already is and how old it might be, I wouldn't be looking at this swag as an upgrade. It's very basic. If you already know you like camping and you like swagging, you should be looking to spend a bit more money on a quality premium swag. Now it's time to talk some hard stats. Packed up, I can get this thing to 800 wide by about 320 diameter. The swag and the bag are 400 GSM ripstop canvas. You get a 50mm mattress, maybe, we'll talk about that in a moment, and the swag weighs 9.5 kilos. You'll pay between $99 and $120 depending on the day you order, and that is for the swag only. I happen to get a bundle deal. The bag usually costs $40 or $50. I got swag and bag for $120. And set up, the swag is 780mm tall, 900mm wide, and 2100mm long. But wait a second, is it? You might be surprised. Let's go get this set up and have a look. So, the bag. I'm usually not much of a swag and bag person, so I just purchased the bag because I thought you might want to know about it. I open it up and yeah, it could really use some finishing around the canvas edges just next to the zip. Got all these frayed pieces and they're going to get trapped in your zip. The zip on the bag is nice and big, so you shouldn't have too much trouble with that getting stuck. Here's something I love, steel D-rings. Now, a lot of swags have buckles and most of those buckles are plastic. They're a pain in the butt to try and clasp together, and then when they break, you're stuffed. Steel D-rings, they're just simple, they work well, they don't break. PVC floor, 450 GSM. Feels a bit light on, but that's just because I'm used to having 600 GSM PVC. Nothing wrong with it. It's still going to be just as waterproof, maybe just not as puncture proof and abrasion resistant. Roll out the swag. Poles are in here. Now, the swag doesn't come with this canvas pole bag. That comes with the canvas carry bag. If you get just the swag and no bag, your poles are in this fly mesh material bag here. Pretty standard dome swag setup. Put your end poles in, do up the clips, put a spreader pole in, and there you go. I've got a tip to lessen the chance of breaking these end poles, so if you stick around till later in the video, I'll cover that in the tips and tricks section. And the spreader pole is, yeah, it's sturdy. It's got a nice solid locking mechanism, no worries there. And there it is, one single swag. Now, the canvas is only a tiny bit lighter than premium swags. It's 400 GSM, whereas many premium swags are 420. Initially, I made a note about how I was disappointed with the sag. I was quite surprised how much sag there was for a single swag. But after a bit of use, it's actually looking better, I think. I have a suspicion that maybe the seasoning and a bit of weathering tightened everything up. So sag no longer an issue. The edging is a nylon sort of material. It's not exactly pretty, but it does the job of keeping that sort of the frayed ends from happening. Putting pegs in and pulling it nice and taut actually doesn't make all that much difference to the sag or structure of the swag. It works pretty well freestanding. Now, let's open it up. Zippers are all nice and big, nice big teeth, good steel pull tags on them, good quality zippers actually. Now you get the insect mesh on both sides, just like that, super fine, like midgie-proof mesh, seems pretty good quality. The edge finishing, yeah, pretty good standard on that. The inside windows at each end, they're a bit small, but they do the job for extra ventilation. You can't open them all the way up, so you wouldn't be able to pass your keys or something out that window at each end. And of course, the mattress. Now, what did I say at the start? You get a 50mm mattress, maybe. Okay, that's what it says on their website. But here's my first major disappointment. Surely you'll agree with me. I'm not going blind. That is 40 mil, right? Look, at the price point of this swag, I wouldn't be mad if it was a 40 mil mattress. What I am mad about is they're just lying to us. Were they once 50 mil and then they changed to 40 mil and didn't tell anybody? Do they not even know that the mattress isn't 50 mil anymore and just don't bother to check? I'll talk more about the mattress in the pros and cons, but right now I just want to address what we're all wondering. How many blokes do I rate this for?
Oh my God. We're gonna have to spoon. I can do that.
3 blokes all day. Could have been 4, except the other guys at camp hadn't had enough to drink yet. Now even the triple bloke rating surprises me, and do you know why? Because we've been lied to again. This swag is not 900 wide, it's 800 wide. The mattress is 800 wide, 900 is there. The PVC tub floor from one side to the other is 800 wide. The only way I can get 900 is if I push the tape measure through and I pull the canvas out to here. But it gets worse. Now at 5'11" or 179 centimeters, I'm a pretty average length bloke. I should fit easily in a 2100 long swag, right? Well, with my pillow up in the end here, my feet actually touch the bottom. That shouldn't happen in a 2100 swag. Well, not if it actually was 2100. End to end, it's 2 meters, not 2.1. Again, do they actually not know that their product doesn't meet what they specify, or do they not care? Now, before we get into pros and cons, and yes, there are pros, every product has its pros, I just want to talk about repairability, which is quite important to me, that my gear can be repaired or have parts replaced if anything breaks. And for this swag, yes, you can actually get the end poles. You can get replacement end poles, about $20 for a single one or $50 for both ends. Those are a commonly broken item on any swag, so it's great to have repairs available. There's also a replacement mattress you can get for this swag. It's not exactly what's in the swag now, it's a self-inflating one, which is much thicker. Whether it fits or not is another question. Anyway, on to the pros and cons. We're going to start with the list of pros. I'm keeping the pros and the cons short today because I've already covered a lot just in the review beforehand. So pro number 1 is the size. Look, aside from the fact that the dimensions aren't what they claim to be on the website, the size isn't too bad, and especially the compact, packed down size, it should work in with most vehicle setups. Pro number 2 is the design elements. There are actually some pretty good ones. Those steel D-rings, winner. The insect mesh, quite nice. The zippers, all around the product, even the bag, nice. And pro number 3 is that the canvas, with the correct seasoning, is actually nicely waterproof. Unfortunately, something else on the swag isn't, but we'll come on to that in a moment. The cons. Con number 1 is that the 40mm mattress is open cell foam. Now at 40mm, I would prefer to have closed cell high density foam. Open cell is softer, more comfortable, but because it's only 40mm, parts of my body touch the ground and I wake up very sore. Still didn't sleep that great. Got a crook neck, bit of a headache. Still gonna blame the swag. And I only weigh 74 kilos, so you want to be lighter than me if you expect to be comfortable. Con number 2. This one depends on your height. So me, with my full-size pillow at home, having a full-size pillow puts me a little bit further down the swag, and even at my 5'11", 179 centimetre height, my feet are kind of touching the bottom of the swag. So if it was 2.1 metres like it says on the website, you'd probably be all right. But at 2 metres, you're kind of pushing it. And con number 3, if you camp under anything but blue skies and sunshine, this swag is not for you. Here's why. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Issues and breakages. You remember me getting really upset at the start? It's very disappointing. Well, this swag leaks bad. And the canvas isn't the problem. The problem is this seam where the canvas joins the PVC bucket floor. This is called a plain seam and it's unsealed. They should have at least sealed it or used a flat seam, which is more waterproof. Oddly enough, the model pictured on the website has got flat seams. So I guess at some point they did do it the good way and then changed over but didn't update anything else. No amount of seasoning this swag will ever fix that problem, but I do have a solution which I'll cover in my tips. The other two issues are that the eyelets for the spreader bar are poorly secured. One fell out on the third time I set it up, and the other is not too far off doing the same. And on the bag in the corner, some of the stitching has started to come undone. Tips and hacks. Number one is to lessen the chance of you breaking your end poles. It's pretty simple really. It's been suggested that if you do up all of the clips on one side only, it warps it out of shape, pushes the pressure to one side, and that's where it snaps. So, starting at either the bottom or the top, always work one side at a time. This one, then this one, followed by this one, then this one. Hack number two is a 40mm mattress isn't going to be enough comfort for you. It's not going to be for most people. You can get an upgrade, a self-inflating mattress from Kings. Now that's only $70. And finally, the big one is fixing those leaks. If you get even the slightest bit of rain, you're going to get wet unless you do this. Now I made a whole video on the topic, what the problem is and how to fix it. I've put a link up in the video in the top corner there now, and the link's in the description. Get yourself some of this seam grip and follow the instructions there, and you can actually make this swag watertight. So what do you think? Was I fair on the swag? It's been a tough review to do, and like I said, I really wanted to like it, but it does have a lot of shortcomings. Let me know what you think in the comments and share any of your own experiences, and you might just be helping out a fellow camper in the future.